everybody, it's Donald. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Today's video is going to be a little bit of what I touched on in my last video regarding Molly Golightly and what's happened with her and the situation in that department. I'm going to tell you about the things that I did after the video last week, and I told you guys I would give you an update if I needed to, and I feel like this is an update that you guys deserve to hear, and it may actually be extremely informative for some of you. So as you guys know, last week I had talked about how Molly had thrown a a birthday party for Summer Wells, and that I was disgusted by it. And that she did a fundraiser for National Missing and Exploited Children. And you know what? She had raised money for them. Good for her. Congratulations. But she exploited a 6-year-old little girl to get that money to give to them. And even with the donation link there, people still sent her super chats. So why she didn't send that money off to, missing and exploited children? That's money that she pockets, that she's not going to donate to anybody. She's not going to give to anybody. She'll keep the super chats as a reward for her for doing her part. Anyways, the reason I bring this up is because it segues into what I'm about to talk about, and kind of help bring awareness to. Molly has started another new nonprofit, and we all know whenever Molly says nonprofit, it means it's a fake profit, so it actually doesn't exist, because making an actual nonprofit is, hard work. And if you guys know anything about nonprofits, they're easy to start. You have to have at least 2 people, and they can't have any criminal records pertaining to like extortion or anything to do with money or anything like that. Embezzlement, that's what I was looking for, not extortion, embezzlement. So you have to have 2 people who are clean, who can pass that part to start the bigger part. And you have to keep track of everything you spend in a nonprofit, and you have to fill out the proper tax forms when you file your taxes, and that's something Molly didn't do. Betty didn't do it either. I don't know who is claiming the money for the nonprofit, but they have to do something with that money. They have to send it off as a nonprofit. They can't file it as regular taxes because it was collected for a nonprofit. It has to be filed this specific way. And so the IRS is going to be really happy to know that Molly is going to do this again, because Molly, you're breaking the fucking law. You have a freaking criminal charge from back in the early 2000s for embezzlement, girl. Yeah, you can't open a nonprofit or run one because you don't have the background in order to pass their credentials, or whatever you want to call it. But this leads into another thing that I did, which is when I found out that she's starting to cover a new case, and if you're in the true crime community, You've probably already heard of this case. If you're not in the true crime community, then you're going to be hearing about it now. And I will dive into this case in just a little bit, but I'm going to tell you about the person who she's trying to exploit now and what I've done about it. So, after I did my video last week, and I saw that she found a new person that she wanted to cover, which is Oakley Carlson. And she is a 5-year-old little girl who has been missing out of Washington since 2021, I believe. The last time any of her actual family saw her was in December of 2020, but the parents are saying that she was alive in early 2021. Yes. Anyways, her case is back in the spotlight again because recently the parents had to appear in court for what they're being charged with in connection to one of their other children. But after my video that I made, I actually called the Center for Missing and Exploited Children because I wanted to tell them what Molly was doing. And I told them about Summer's birthday stream and what she did and how she has been using Summer Wells as a cash cow and using her name to make money and to use, that she's made a fake nonprofit using Summer's name and image, and that, she has a pattern of basically doing this over and over and over again, exploiting the victims of who she's covering. Her first case, if I remember correctly, was Shanann Watts. And here's the thing, I don't know if you guys remember from last week when I was talking about what happened with that. Cindy Ruzek thought that Molly was this great person and entrusted that she would do a really, really good video for YouTube about Shanann, and she asked John to film it. And John gave a lot of insight into how Molly works and how she acts and how she is. And when I was talking to the people at Missing and Exploited, I was telling them about all the people that she's exploited over, at least the past, I want to say 3 or 4 years. And when I told them, I'm like, this is what she did to the Bruzek family. This is what she did to Cash Gernon's family. I said, this is what she's done to Summer Wells. I said, and now she's attempting to do this to another little girl. And after I got through explaining what happened with Summer's birthday stream, I got put on the phone with a manager. And I gave them all of your information, Molly, because they asked for it, because they're starting an internal investigation on your ass. Because they are a foundation built on stopping the exploitation of missing and exploited children. You exploited a child to get money to donate to their foundation. They weren't happy about that. Come on, Molly. So I gave them all your information. They have it in their system, and they're going through to look at not only how much you've donated, but they're also looking into your channel and you as a person to see how much you exploit the victims you talk about. And they are aware that you are attempting to now exploit Oakley Carlson. So they put a note on her file about you. Which is sad, because you know what? For them to have to do that, it means that whenever they get a donation for her case, they're going to have to look and make sure it doesn't come from you or someone associated with you, because they don't want your money, Molly. I don't get what it is with you and little girls, Molly. Do you have a fetish? I mean, like, what is it? Why the last two, or yeah, Summer and this one, they're almost the same age. They're a year apart. Is it because their cases will make you money because of how crazy they are? Like, I don't understand it. I'm guessing it's a money thing. Because you did make $55,000 off of Summer alone. Maybe more. But now, not only did I contact missing and exploited children, I contacted the police department that is overseeing Oakley's case. And I let them know about you. And I told them everything that I told missing and exploited children about you. And the police department was appalled that someone like you says they're an advocate for victims pulling this kind of shit. And the police detective on the end of the line said, "We aren't as nice as the people in Tennessee. We're not going to let her interfere with the case here." And so I told him, "Okay." I said, "When I find out when she's coming, I'll call you back and let you know." And he said, "You know what? I appreciate that. And when she gets here, we're gonna make sure she doesn't talk to anybody." So Molly, I've already gotten that taken care of for you. So I mean, you could save the money and not have to worry about doing anything. You can just go protest with all the other protesters. There's nothing wrong with protesting, Molly. There's plenty of people who are out there protesting right now. And this is including the foster family for Oakley Carlson, who they wanted to adopt Oakley, but DCFS told them no. They wanted her to get back with her family because they were trying to clean up and get their kids back. They found out in October that she was going to be going back with her family, even though she hadn't done a full overnight visit. And by November, she was gone. And then in December, when the grandmother saw her, she said she looked pale, she looked very sick, and she looked like she had scratches and, blisters on her face. Now, what kind of drug do we know that will affect your face that way? What do you think she was exposed to that made her look like that? Now, she had been going to school up until a certain point, and then she stopped going because of COVID and everything. They ended up having to keep the kids at home and do virtual school. But in January 2021, the house that Oakley was living in with her parents caught fire. And the dad didn't call the fire department until at least 6 hours after the fire had started to let them know about it. And which to me is kind of silly. You think if your house is on fire, you would want them there immediately to, or as soon as possible, to put it out so you avoid having to deal with all of the damage that can come with having a fire. They didn't do that. In fact, the fire started in the kitchen and burnt almost the entirety of the upstairs of their home. And when the principal of the school found out what happened, she went to visit the family a couple times, and each time she went, she didn't see Oakley. And so when she asked about Oakley, they said, "Oh, she's in her room, or she's with a relative." And so the principal had a gut feeling that something wasn't right and that something was off. So she arranged a sleepover with her daughter, who was the same age as Oakley's sister. And it the sleepover, basically, it was supposed to be fun, and it was for the most part, but the principal was able to ask questions about what happened to Oakley. And Oakley's sister just said, "Oakley is no more. She's been taken by the wolves." Something to that effect. And then she started crying, which to me means she either saw something happen and doesn't want to talk about it, or that's just how she's processing it to get through it. Childhood trauma is really difficult to deal with, and I can only imagine what her other kids, feel. And what happened was, the damage done to the home was so bad that the family ended up moving into a motel. And after the little girl had the sleepover at the principal's house, she went to the police department, and she also contacted DCFS. DCFS responded with the same old, "We'll look into it." But the police went over there, and, they saw that the kids were all, nicely dressed and clean. And, when they asked about Oakley, they said, "Oh, she's with the husband's parents." But they didn't have a phone number or address to give the police to go look, go visit the parents with. Well, the police can find that out on their own, so they did. And they went to go visit them, and they're like, "We have not seen her since December of 2020. And this is January, February 2021. And so the police went back to go talk to them, and the mom was really, really upset and angry, which is something that, isn't normal. And the dad was just kind of like, whatever. He didn't care. He was very much zoned out. And they ended up arresting the parents, not for, at first, they said for manslaughter for Oakley. They didn't have evidence for that, though. After 72 hours, they couldn't find any evidence pointing to the fact that she was deceased. The only thing that they were able to find in the home, they found traces of blood, and they found a handprint in blood, but that was it. They searched the 300 acres that the house was on, and they brought cadaver dogs, and they never found anything. And the other thing they did was, once they had the kids removed from the parents, they had them drug tested. All their children came back positive with methamphetamine in their system. So in December, when you look at what people described Oakley looking like, If you've ever seen somebody with meth face, they call it meth mites. It's where your skin your brain thinks that there's stuff like underneath your skin and crawling, and so you pick and you scratch at your skin. A lot of times that's how you can tell somebody is using meth, because that's what their face and their body will look like, because they pick at themselves because they think that they have these meth mites there. And essentially right now the police kind of have their idea of what happened, they think happened, but they're not sure because they need more evidence. But the two theories they have are this: that she was either accidentally killed by the parents in a beating or drug overdose, or that she was sold for drugs. Those are the two big things that they're running with, that they've released publicly. And so I would simply ask, if you are going to look into the case of Oakley Carlson, please do so respectfully. This little girl has people who love her and care about her and miss her and want her home. At the same time, do not let people like Molly advocate for this child. In my last video, I talked about how I'm a victim's advocate. I advocate for people who have missing family members, murdered family members, missing children, murdered children. I advocate for people like that on a daily basis. I don't talk about it because people don't need to know that about my life. They don't need to know who I'm in contact with. And you know what? The work I do is free. I do it because that's what's right. In my heart, that's what brings me joy, is helping people get through the worst part of their life. And if that means that they need to call me at 3 a.m., I'm here at 3 a.m. I'll take your phone call. You get the good with the bad. And I'm not ashamed of the work I do, but I don't talk about it publicly because I have respect for the victims. And I have respect for the families that I speak with. And I don't want them to be attacked because of an association with me, because they didn't sign up for that, and it's not fair to them. So I would ask you, once again, if you are interested in Oakley Carlson's case, there is a way you can help. You can go to the Missing and Exploited Children's website. They have a full-on article about Oakley and her case and what you can do to help there, people you can contact. You can also go to the police department that is listed there and contact them and ask them what you can do. If you live in the area, you can actually donate to, for example, the Missing and Exploited Children Foundation. You can donate for Oakley's case because their money goes to helping people. It doesn't go to someone like Molly, who's doing it for clicks and views and her own monetary gain. Molly, you need to stop victimizing families by using and exploiting their missing loved ones because it makes you money. I will call you out every fucking time. I'm calling you out now because I'm not gonna let Oakley's case end up like Summer's case. I won't let you disrespect that little girl the way you disrespect Summer's case, in the way that you treated Summer's family because of the lifestyle they had. You are not this amazing, great giving person. You are a fucking monster who manipulates and exploits. And you do it because you think it's easy. And you can make money off of it because people think true crime is super awesome and that's how you get lots of subs. Well, Molly, you know what? I don't have a lot of subs, but I have morals and I have fucking integrity, and that's something I'm fucking goddamn proud of. I would never sacrifice any of that. Remember, Molly, you said that I'm not on your level, right? Here's another reason why I'm not on your level. Because I have people who respect me. I treat people with respect, and I respect people who are struggling and need help and give them a voice and give them help. You, on the other hand, only do it to a certain point. Once you get to a financial security, you drop the family and you drop whatever it is, and you just keep rolling with the punches and, say the family is so grateful to you, when in reality the family hates you for what you did to them. I will continue to fight you, Molly. You've met your match, because I'm not gonna fucking back down. Like I said, I will not dox you. I will go around the doxing thing and do it in other ways. So keep doing your thing, and I'm gonna keep reporting it. And eventually, your ass is gonna land in jail, which is where it's headed right now. The IRS has to look into your taxes, sunshine, so it's gonna take a little bit for, them to process everything and get through your stuff. But don't you worry. They have all the information that, they needed to get your tax records. And so for them, I hope that it's quick and easy and that we can see you in jail in maybe a month or two. With charges of, I don't know, whatever they want to charge you with. But I hope you get charged with something, because it'll give us something to talk about. And it'll be funny. Because I can't wait to see your next mugshot. I know it's going to be the best one yet. Anyways, like I said, this video is kind of a follow-up to last week. Don't let Molly intimidate you. Don't let people like Kurt intimidate you. I'm standing up for a child that doesn't have a voice, who is missing, and the family and the foster family just want her home, and they want her home safe. So if you guys have any information regarding Oakley and her whereabouts, or think that you may have seen her, please contact the proper authorities. I will leave the links for that in the description. I will also have a picture of Oakley in this video, with all of her information on it, so you can take a look at it. Stephanie Harlowe did a phenomenal video on Oakley's case, and so if you really want to take a deep dive into it, I recommend watching her video. She breaks down everything that's said in that video and talks about what's gone on in the case and what we're up against. And for people who actually advocate for victims, our goal is to always bring them home. So I think we can bring Oakley home. We had issues with Summer, and that's because people got in thinking they knew better than law enforcement. I think with Oakley, we might have a chance to actually help do some good. And I'm not talking about the way Molly goes and does her thing. I'm talking about, looking into possible sightings and things like that, and just taking the time to remember that everybody matters. This little girl has a family who loves her and misses her and wants her back. It may not be her parents, but her foster parents want her back. Her siblings want her back. And I think that instead of fighting, we can actually unite on a front and help bring Oakley some justice and find her. And give closure to a family, whether it be that she's unfortunately passed or she's been found safe somewhere. And I'm hoping that she's safe somewhere with someone, even though it was for the wrong reason. I'm hoping that's what happened. But, I mean, unfortunately, we don't know. So I think we can, at least keep them in our thoughts and our prayers. And if you don't have, if you're not a faith-believing person, there's nothing good or nothing wrong with wishing people, good thoughts, good vibes, all of that stuff, because things like that are what make the difference in a case. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was informative for you and that you enjoyed it. Hopefully I can get back to making my regular content soon if Molly stops doing Molly. But we know Molly, so we shall see. But yeah, it's the small little things that good people do that make a difference in this world. And I'm glad to be one of the small people that's willing to stand up for this little girl. And I will continue to be a voice for those who don't have one or who need one. So I hope you guys have a good night, good day, whatever it is, whenever it is you're watching this, and know that if you need anything, you're always welcome to reach out to me through here, or you can follow me on Twitter and message me there. It's OG Donald Duck 89, and you can just send me a message on there. Have a good rest of the whatever it is, you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Say lasagna.